Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for another devotional. Today we're in John chapter 6. I'm going to read verses 22 through 24. Shout out today to Edwin Apondo from Kenya. Brother, thank you so much for using our devotionals with your guys and our materials to lead your men. We love you and we are praying for you, and this devotional is for you today. So John chapter 6 verse 22 begins, on the next day, so this is after the feeding of the 5,000, the crowd that remained on the other side of the sea saw that there had been only one boat there, and that Jesus had not entered the boat with his disciples, but that his disciples had gone alone. Other boats from Tiberias came near the place where they had eaten the bread after the Lord had given thanks. So when the crowd saw that Jesus was not there, nor his disciples, they themselves got into the boats and went to Capernaum seeking Jesus. Interesting responses to Jesus, right? So this text explains where the feeding occurred, how Jesus moved, and how people responded to him. But there are some interesting features here that I think are important to notice. So if you're watching this on video today, I'm going to try to put up some pictures on a map so you can see these locations. So the east side of the lake is the best possible location, I believe, for the feeding of the 5,000. This is a rocky beach location here that you're going to see on the map, and then a fertile area where people could have sat. Now, above this to the east is a rolling mountain range where I think is the best location for Jesus to retreat. Then next, the disciples depart on the only boat we discover on location and head out for Capernaum. Now, Capernaum is about maybe 5 to 7 miles by water, depending on which route they travel. But as we know, the wind is against them, preventing them from getting very far, so they can't sail. They gotta row because the wind is against them, right? So my assumption is Jesus is watching all this unfold from the mountain. It is late, it's dark, it's windy, and the disciples are getting nowhere. They are exhausted. I mean, absolutely tanked. They've been rowing for hours, and not just a few hours, a lot of hours, and right at this moment, here, Jesus, the Savior, enters. Jesus somehow slips past the 5,000 because they don't see him. He then walks out on the water against the wind. And then Jesus meets them. He enters the boat. The wind stops. And according to the author, who's John, they instantly appear on the other side of the lake. Meanwhile, as day breaks, the 5,000 realize that Jesus and the disciples and the only boat available are gone. At the same time, new boats are landing, probably because the wind has blown them in that eastward direction, and now they're all getting on these boats. I don't know how you get 5,000 people on these boats, but you know, they're all trying to get on the boats. So imagine the chaos. So I have just got one question for you today. Are you exhausted? Are you exhausted by needy people, physical challenges, situational demands, unforeseen circumstances, and natural events you didn't anticipate? If so, why are you still trying to plan and navigate and row through these circumstances on your own power? Don't you see? Things are easier when Jesus is with you. He can power straight through them instantly, fellas. So trust in him. I love you guys. I pray that you will give this all over to Jesus today. Everything that you're hanging on to, because he can do it better than you can. And with that, I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.